At this point you may ask, where does all the forward LIBOR rates come from? And how about all the discount factors? Where do they come from? Because they are not given. And actually we cannot observe much of these directly in the market. So what we can observe is a set of swap rates for swaps with different tenors. So think of this guy determining it could be a 2-year, it could be a 5-year, 10-year, or many different tenors that we can observe. We can also observe FRA rates. A FRA rate is to some degree just a very short-dated swap. At least it has some of the same features. It is an exchange of floating for fixed, but only for a single period. So these we can observe. But as we saw before, we have equations that line up the swap rate to something that involves the floatings, the discount factors, and everything. So it essentially allows us to set up a set of equations. Hopefully we have enough equations to determine all the forward LIBORs we care about. So if we want to price a 50-year swap with semi-annual payments, we need in fact 100 different LIBORs. In most markets we cannot observe swaps with maturities at each and every 6 months. In fact, you may be able to observe the 50-year swap, and maybe we can observe the 40-year swap. So in between we actually don't know what is the swap rate for 41 years, 42 years. So we need a set of assumptions about interpolation. In fact, we may also need to price swaps that are slightly longer than 50 years. So we may also need extrapolation. We may have other qualitative features we want to have from our set of forward rates, from a set of discount factors. And that entire exercise, which is too complex to cover right now, is called curve calibration. In fact, this exercise can be rather complex because the market is not only trading the plain vanilla swap. As you know, in euros, we're talking about the Euro 6M being the index of the plain vanilla swap with a fixed leg that pays annually. But in the euro market, we also trade Euro 3M. We also trade Euro overnight swaps, which we'll cover later. And in fact, we also trade Euro 12M. And we actually need to figure out how do each of these relate, what are the qualitative features for their levels, their difference, their spread, the curvature and everything. So that is a rather complex exercise. And how to discount, what curve should determine discounting is a rather large question in itself, and we will come back to that later.